Hello and welcome to all of our viewers from around the world. We have quite a game in prospect here, just waiting for the players to emerge, and we will be underway. The teams then, Leicester against Manchester. Well, this guy's being talked about plenty right now, Jim. Just how good is he?
I think he's very good, and based on potential, he can go a considerable way towards the top. His development to this point has been almost perfect, and he can make a big pond look a lot smaller.
Well, then the lineups for this game. We're underway. So this is round two between these two sides who have already met once this season. Who do you, Jim, see making the difference here?
Well, I think when it comes to reading the game, you're not going to do much better than company. It's a game of anticipation which dictates your positional play, and he gets it spot on time and time again.
I wonder whether that has anything to do with you being a defender once upon a time, Jim. Stuck out a leg for a good challenge. Aguero with the ball through. Glenn Johnson. And the finish! Oh, he did the hard part right, but fluffed the finish.
It was such a clever idea to lift it into his path.
And it's Aguero. Monreal has been included in the starting 11 for the first time in some weeks. Looks to slip it through. Now the pass. And he's straight offside.
Oh, we're talking fractions.
Brushed off the ball there. Bonucci. Now it's Costa. Vardy is the guilty party there. Keeper goes long. Thuram. Played out to the wing. Shapes the shoot!
That's great defending to cover for the goalkeeper and just get something in the way.
And we hit half-time, so neither team has broken through, but certainly not for the want of trying. It's been an interesting game up to now, but still goals. Interesting half, just missing goals, so don't be surprised if the second half brings a change to the scoreline at the break, 0-0. Here we go again then. So deadlock still as the second half begins. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. Can he finish? Good try. The outcome could so easily have been different.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Some activity down on the touchline. It seems there's going to be a change. Silva Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Now it's Vardy. Shots, it's Costa! Goalkeeper's ball. Silva. Now it's Aguero. And it's Diego Costa. Going back to the keeper. Gets it upfield. Manchester get it back again. It's come loose.
Concentration levels are very good, and so is the...
Vardy! He has done it! And that could well be the winner!
Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground, because it took them seconds to get the ball from back to front, and they really commit forward in numbers too. That was all very well drilled.
So, time for changes on both sides, actually. Leicester take the lead.
Listen, when it comes to goals, Peter, in this team, he's always the #1 contender, and he's done it again. Peter, they have to fight the onset of desperation and keep enough cool heads to still deliver. Time is ticking away.
And that is it, the referee has seen enough. What a game. End to end, it flew by, and in the end, it all came down to just the odd goal. How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Leicester will walk away happy from this with such a show of defensive solidity and maturity that's hard to upset.
So that's it from us. Many thanks go to Jim Beglin, and goodbye from us. I think we're just about ready to get going here. A warm welcome to you wherever you are in the world. And here we have Leicester against Real Madrid. This is Peter Drury, and I'm happy to inform you that Jim Beglin has joined me to offer his expertise.
Hello, Peter, and hello to everyone watching. For me, it's a real thrill to be here.
And that gets things running. Leicester are back home, having earned a lead in the away leg. And they look safe for a place in the last 8, unless things take a drastic turn for the worse here. Turan. He's had a goal! Superb goal!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
With time and space aplenty, he was never going to miss.
Yeah, it looks simple, Peter, but it requires intelligent use of space and good understanding to pull it off.
Leicester take the lead, landing the first significant block. Whistle's gone, that's a foul. And it's Toni Kroos. Now the pass. It's being played forward. Bonucci passes it through. Going through. Has a hit! It's a goal! And they are disappearing out of sight. Well, from right in front of goal, there was no way he was going to miss.
Well, he made it obvious as to where the pass should be played, Peter, and it made the finish look that bit easier.
Played out to the right. That intervention was very necessary. Breaks on here. He's got away. Oh, that's neat. Up for the header. Good stop. That wasn't easy.
The keeper really dug out his defence then. A magnificent effort.
Skirtle tried to play it through.
The movement was good, but the pass lacked authority, a cause of mild frustration.
It's Cristiano Ronaldo. Skirtle. With a delicate shoots! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Well, as Tesco, Peter, the keeper has just received an A+ grade.
No, he didn't quite meet it right. Cristiano Ronaldo, out wide to the right. Walcott, he's had a shot! Deflected behind for a corner kick. Deep into first half stoppage time, a crucial goal. A wonderful delivery, and all it needed was a touch.
Well, as contact goes, that was tremendous, and it helped him to direct it exactly where he wanted into that net. I think when it comes to the aerial department, this fella is definitely no slouch.
first half is done. So a really good half of football, 3 goals and just one separating them.
Well, it's still anyone's game, as both sides have shown they have goals in them. As for the next one...
Can he put it away? And he's found the net! The second half off to a spectacular start. Pretty simple finish in the end. What do you think, Jim?
It's almost criminal to see a defence fail to identify someone who thrives when it comes to shooting stats. They knew, and yet they didn't heed, and they've paid the price and deserve to.
Real Madrid playing for pride here, and that should surely be on them. He's gone for it! And the second time! Where to from here? Goes for goal! It's in! And again they hit the front!
Look, there just wasn't much of a gap to begin with, and to find it, I think it was a fine drive, and I don't think the keeper could have really planned for that. I think he's a bit unlucky in that instance.
There is some activity down on the touchline. Seems there's going to be a change. Rafael Varane. Looks like a good ball through. He's left his man. Bonucci plays it forward, and it's been given away. Either way, he's had a shot and shoots. Oh, he's really drilled it.
Keeper felt he had that covered. Some of the crowd were less convinced. It was really well drilled.
Got changes here on both sides, in fact. Great strength, too strong for his opponent. Diego Costa goes for it! They've scored! 2-1 now, and they are cruising.
The first touch was absolutely heavenly, and because of it, the finish was a mere formality.
So, time changes on both sides, actually. Sergio Ramos. And it's Juve. Ahmed hits it first time! Big relief, it just needed better contact. There's going to be another change here. Loftus-Cheek. It's been intercepted, and that will come to nothing. Looks to slip it through. Loftus-Cheek won! And that would have won it.
Loftus-Cheek is fully aware of how important that could have been. Probably a game-setting match.
Great ball to play him in, but he will be gutted to miss that.
It was such a clever idea to lift it into his path.
Shot a goal! He's there to make a great save.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that. A difficult moment he simply had to deal with.
Repelled by the keeper. They've got it back as soon as they gave it away. And that has been clubbed away. The final whistle. The first hurdle cleared. On to the next one. How would you sum up what we've witnessed, Jim?
Leicester were very impressive here, Peter. The backbone of this team is so strong, and it proved to be the decisive area.
The warmest of welcomes to all of you around the globe. We're just about ready to get going. The players will be with us very shortly. And here we have Roma against Leicester. I'm Peter Drury, and this is Jim Beglin. A delight to have him on board.
Thanks for that, Peter. Hi, everyone. The excitement has really picked up now, and I'm eager for the action to start.
The action has already started. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Wesley Sneijder. He may be small in size, but he's big on influence, and if he has lively movement around him, he'll find the runners. He's the pivot for all that goes forward.
Yes, they'll certainly be leaning heavily on him. And he has been fouled there. Who's he going to play in? He's still going. Where to next? It's a very good battle there. Terrific to watch. Going for goal! And the finish! And oh! They've scored! Well, he was never going to miss from there.
Oh, Peter, you can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. His anticipation is on another level to everyone else's. Superb.
Leicester take the lead.
It's so often the case with goal scorers, little influence, and all of a sudden, bang.
Mkhitaryan, De Rossi, towering header, sticks it away. Roma are level. However they tried to stand in his way, he just was not to be denied.
Demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
And that has added a whole new complexion to the game.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous time.
And the finish! Trying to get there. Turns and goes back. Chooses to go. Has a pop! And the ball's come out. Danger averted for now. And through to the goalkeeper. There's the whistle for half-time. Genuinely interesting game here. Very, very watchable. 2 goals. 1 each. It's been a decent 45 minutes. Competitive, certainly, and a goal each. We're promptly into the second 45 minutes.
Leicester playing well with lots of opportunities and plenty positives to take from the first half, despite this scoreline. Converting chances would make a world of difference for them.
Gets it upfield. Oh, good interception. Thuram. And it's Vardy. Oh, and he's got good distance. Who's chasing? Roma keeping their men at arm's length here.
Yeah, I just think it's a conservative move to deny runners the opportunity of going beyond that rear guard.
Oh, and look who's there doing the defending. He wasn't very far from making something happen by himself. Lovely to see. Out to the flank. Pumps it in. Up to meet it! He will be livid with himself. Both sides then taking this chance to turn to their benches. Leicester opting to make a double change here. Jose Font. Keeper's got good distance on that. Out to the left it goes. He's got away. Looks to slip it through.
Roma showing a good level of intensity at this stage. They're calling on all their resources now.
Loftus-Cheek. Tevez. So that's it. It is all over. Leicester come away with a draw, and they were well worth it. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Listen, the more this game went on, a draw was always likely to be on the card, so overall...
The warmest of welcomes to you. We await the conclusion of the pre-game formalities. The teams then, Arsenal against Leicester. I'm Peter Drury, and here with me in the commentary box, I'm glad to report, is Jim Beglin.
Cheers, Peter. It's a privilege to be here. It really is.
There's the whistle, and here we go. So this is round two between these two sides who have already met once this season. Steered out wide. Diego Costa, now the pass. Loftus-Cheek looking to get on the end of this. Arsenal are enjoying great form in front of goal right now. 5 games in a row they've scored. Up he gets! Good stop, that wasn't easy.
The keeper really dug out his defence then. A magnificent effort.
Massive leap! Good clearance and very necessary. He's having a look round. Loftus-Cheek passes it through. Diego Costa played out to the wing. Floats one up. Shoots! Surely this time! And a header! A great save, real class.
Well, as tests go, Peter, the keeper has just received an A+ grade.
That'll go straight through to the keeper. Great challenge. That's an untidy challenge. Free kick given. Chance to shoot. Loftus-Cheek. Vardy. Is it in? And it's a goal! A pretty simple finish in the end. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, it looks simple, Peter, but it requires intelligent use of space and good understanding to pull it off.
Leicester draw first blood here.
Yeah, and they know there's plenty of work left in this one, Peter, before they can actually say that the job is over.
Looks like a good ball through. He's got away. Now he's gone for it! No mistake! Hot knife through butter. They have done it again.
The first touch was absolutely heavenly, and because of it, the finish was a mere formality.
His second of the game, and an eye now for the hat-trick. And the first half is done. It's the first half compared with your expectation.
Leicester just didn't want the half-time whistle to be blown. Convincing and controlled.
Leicester go in at half-time on a comfortable 2-goal cushion. That gets things going for the second half. Diego has a pop! Oh, surely that deserved better.
Oh, it was such a clever pass that flummoxed the defence, and it could well be revisited, this.
Well, the ball's come loose and the chase is on. Costa looks to slip, hits one! More and more and more and more! They are running riot! Surely now, beyond all doubt.
And how about the timing of the pass and run? They've worked it before, and no doubt they'll work it again.
He's made it 3. Quite a day at the office for him.
Well, he's been the outstanding player on the pitch and devastating in front of goal. What a display, what a player.
Arsenal look as though they're about to make a change. Leicester take a 3-goal lead and they are romping out of sight. Tries a through ball. He's in! Looking to shoot! Saved only by poor finishing.
Well, the defence are in a good position to get behind the ball and let them just try from range.
Both sides then taking this chance to turn to their benches. Arsenal keeping their men at arm's length here.
Yeah, I just think it's a conservative move to deny runners the opportunity of going beyond that rear guard.
Diego Costa lobs it in gently. Can he find a finish now? Goes for it!
Ah, that's great defending to cover for the goalkeeper and just get something in the way.
Leicester are closing in on a comfortable win.
Well, to be honest, I think they're all show and no substance. Where's the final product?
Could be thinking about a shot here. In with a header! And that will be the final act. A demolition, destruction, annihilation. They simply ran away with it. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
Of course, we all love to watch the creative side of the game and goal scorers, but there's an art to good defence too, and their organisation and discipline has helped earn this win.
So we've reached the end of our coverage for today. Many thanks to Jim Beglin alongside me, and we'll both see you next time. Soaking up the pre-match atmosphere here as we wait for things to get started. Won't be long now before we get through the formalities. A warm welcome, one and all. And our live game is Leicester against Roma. This is Peter Drury, and I'm happy to inform you that Jim Beglin has joined me to offer his expertise.
Thanks, Peter. Hello, everybody. I'm ready to see what unfolds in this one now.
The familiar strains of the anthem serving to raise the levels of expectation even higher. So the two starting lineups. So it's away we go then. Leicester are back home now after what could be a really important draw in the away leg. And any win here will... And Vardy! And he's done it!
And some of the best managers I played for insisted on starting games as you mean to go on. And we've just seen a very important opening goal from an extremely talented individual who looks primed for more. He really does look at it.
That has brought the house down. What a wonderful hit.
Oh, the contact was fantastic, right on the bootlaces, and it packed a lot of venom for what was a really potent strike.
Leicester give themselves the perfect start. Can they build on it? Good challenge, stood up well against his man. Defending was physical, no nonsense, and it had to be. And the weighted pass. And a second time! It's there! All too easy! They are in danger of disappearing out of sight. Well, that always looked the likely outcome.
Well, considering he has a bit of a shoot-on-sight policy, he was the one player that should have been picked up then. It was both careless and costly from where I'm sitting.
Leicester get themselves a two-goal cushion.
Well, that second goal has given them so much more command and confidence now, and they should be able to take it on from here and either add to their lead or close it out. Surely they'll manage one or the other.
Schneider could try cutting inside here. Looks to slip it through. Now it's Vardy. Vardy! And he's there to make a great save.
Well, what can I say? Truly wonderful goalkeeping.
Oh, he really wanted that.
Well, Peter, I think it's fairly obvious he's one of the biggest influences out there.
Tries to stroke it through. Mkhitaryan crosses. It's being played forward. Vardy with a delicate ball. Well played, he saw that coming. Schneider. Mkhitaryan. Loose ball, who's going to get there? And the half-time whistle goes. How would you review the first half?
Leicester just didn't want the half-time whistle to be blown. Convincing and controlled.
Leicester in control at half-time, 2-0. The second half gets underway. Mkhitaryan lobs it in gently. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside.
Well, he now knows that he has to lock in the timing. Success and failure depends on it.
Bonucci. And it's Loftus-Cheek, looks to clip it forward. Leicester claiming a corner, and the referee concurs. It's anyone's ball. Going to throw in. Chip through, gets up to head it! And oh, he's got that completely wrong.
Oh, I'm not sure what he had in mind, and I don't think he knew either.
Checks on the touchline, a change about to occur. Poorly directed kick from the keeper, he's given it away. Great run this, he's covered quite a distance. Loftus-Cheek, now it's Diego Costa shoots!
Oh, it's die-hard defence and the willingness to put his body on the line. Very impressive.
And he's cut it out. He acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there. Hits one! Oh, it looked like 3-0 for sure.
He'll be fuming with himself for not converting. He could have killed it off.
It so nearly came off for him.
Yeah, and you can hear how the crowd are reacting to this too.
Time for changes on both sides, actually. Loftus-Cheek. Diego Costa shoots. They are rampant. And surely that settles it.
Leicester are really pouncing on any stray passes in midfield. We're talking seconds from interception to the back of the net. It's counter-attacking heaven.
Diego Costa shoots. And he should have made it 4. Has gone out. Now the ball's come loose and the chase is on. Good run, ultimately thwarted by an astute piece of defending. Crowd appreciates good football all round there. Costa, now the pass. He's gone for it! The whistle has gone and it is all over. Leicester through to the semi-finals. The trophy almost touchable. You cannot help but fancy them. Your reflections then, Jim?
Well, if ever there was a good tone setter for a football match, that was it. First minutes, first shot, first goal, and it set them up.
So a warm welcome to you from what is one of the great monuments to the beautiful game. It screams footballing history. This is Anfield. And our live game is Liverpool against Leicester. I'm Peter Drury and this is Jim Beglin. A delight to have him on board.
Well, I can tell you I'm truly delighted to join you, Peter, and thank you very much for that.
And that gets things running. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
I would think Lucas Moura. Once he gets into his dribbling...
Has a pop! And that would have been some goal.
Lucas Moura just backs himself every time. Give him a challenge and he'll rise to it.
Great leap! Oh, he did the hard part right, but fluffed the finish.
Oh, it was such a clever pass that flummoxed the defence, and it could well be revisited, this.
Firmino gets wrestled off the ball. Skirtle goes looking. And it's Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek clips one through.
Just to point out, Peter, that the fullbacks are quite high.
And what are they trying to achieve?
Well, it's obviously a move to push...
Hurls himself at it! Goal! Spectacular header. He really flung himself at that.
You know, it takes a lot of courage to do that, to throw yourself at the ball knowing you could catch a boot in the head. Well done, son.
Leicester take the lead, 1-0.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
Leicester were imperious when the two sides last met, and the fans are asking for more of the same. And the weighted pass, not offside that time.
Yeah, he'll have to practice a little more patience before deciding to run. It can make all the difference.
It upfield, played out to the right. Lucas Moura, he's tried one, and he comes up trumps again.
Lucas Moura really was superb there. He's getting lots of practice, but he's coping extremely well.
Loftus-Cheek. Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. Well, there we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight.
Well, this team has found a real rhythm to their game. The players seem to have clicked well. There's good movement off the ball, the passes are sticking. No one's afraid to have a go.
Leicester head for the dressing room in possession of a 1-0 lead. start of the second half.
Leicester going well here, and they're in a good position to kick on and add to their lead. They don't have to overcommit, but they can place more emphasis on stretching their advantage without necessarily neglecting things defensively.
Battles to win it back. Looks like a good ball. Hits one! He's done very well to get to that.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that. A difficult moment he simply had to deal with.
We have got changes here, from both sides in fact. Kyle Walker just brushed off the ball there. And it's Loftus-Cheek.
They're actually not getting too tight, which is interesting.
No.
It's probably cautionary. Don't dive in, try to pinch it or intercept so nobody can get in behind.
And Vardy! Great build-up. It all deserved a better ending.
Vardy fully deserves the plaudits for setting up the chance.
It so nearly came off for him.
Well, Peter, I think it's fairly obvious. He's one of the biggest influences out there.
Leicester making another change here. It's a loose ball. Alexandro, beautifully done. This is promising. He's gone for it! That's got him rattled. Vardy is now the subject of some adhesive marking.
Yeah, and getting...
Vardy! Oh, brilliant from Vardy!
Unbelievable.
And there's the goal they've been looking for. Oh, a goal of real quality. He made it look ridiculously easy.
Vardy really showed his coolness, Peter, by not getting flustered on such a tough skill. And for me, it was controlled perfection.
Liverpool have decided now is the time to make their final change.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result...
That's surely a foul. Free kick. Good challenge. He just stood firm. Pull it. Out wide to the right. He's left his man. He's got the ball. Gets up to head it! That's a half-decent try.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
Board shows there will be 3 extra minutes. Keeps everyone guessing. And time is up. So they have their win. They had all the answers to whatever the opposition threw at them, and the result followed inevitably. Any reflections on what you've seen, Jim?
Leicester will walk away happy from this with such a show of defensive solidity and maturity that's hard to upset.
So many thanks to Jim Beglin. That's all we have time for. Good evening to you. So hello and a warm welcome to all of you worldwide. We're just waiting for the central characters to make their appearance and then we will be underway. And our live game is Leicester against Manchester United. I'm Peter Drury and it's my chance to say that it is an absolute delight to have Jim Beglin beside me.
Thanks, Peter. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here.
So it's away we go then. So this is round two between the... Can he score? He's scored!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
Finishing doesn't come simpler than that. Bang in front of goal.
It's almost criminal to see a defence fail to identify someone who thrives when it comes to shooting stats. They knew, and yet they didn't heed, and they've paid the price and deserve to.
Well, that has certainly made things interesting. Out to the flank. Lovely little display of skill, that is. Fellaini, good challenge, he just stood firm. Tellez. Now he's wondering who wants it. Vardy, goes for goal! Butter, they have done it again. Great corner, and he did the rest.
Well, look, it's often the timing of the jump that dictates what you can do with any header, and if you get it slightly wrong, then you'll struggle, but that was beautifully met, it really was.
Leicester take a 2-goal lead and things should be comfortable from here on in.
That second goal has such a polarising effect on prospective moods. I mean, one team are under more...
The shot's on! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Well, what can I say? Truly wonderful goalkeeping.
And it's hoisted clear. Want to throw in. Coaxed out to the wing. Forward it goes. Loftus-Cheek. Vardy plays it wide. Loftus-Cheek. Big chance! Fellaini goes looking. Hoists it high. He acknowledges that he should have come up with something better there.
That just required a bit more oomph to reach its target.
We've reached half-time. To look back on the first 45 minutes.
Well, it's looking pretty straightforward, Peter. They've got themselves into a very good position, so why dither from here when they can repeat their first half success with another show of strength?
Leicester ahead 2-0 and they are looking good. That gets things going for the second half. Manchester United come here off the back of that highly entertaining 2-2 draw. Now it's Lukaku. Matic. Now it's Lukaku. Smolov. Now the pass. With a delicate ball. That's a corner kick. There's some activity down on the touchline. It seems there's... Gets up to head it! Is it in? Yes, it's an own goal!
Oh, it's terribly unfortunate for them, and maybe we can attribute that to a loss of focus.
Leicester got some help from Lady Luck there. They all count. Lukaku. Sanchez takes control of it and he's on the move. Wonderful quick feet. That intervention was very necessary. And it's Loftus-Cheek. And the weighted pass. Fellaini. And it's for Salko. Vardy goes long. Ball needed to be better there. It's a waste. Has a swing at it! They are rampant! And they are pulling still further away.
Oh, look, it's always great to see a solo effort with a goal. It's the ideal combination of pace and control.
So, time for changes on both sides, actually.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
Leicester tear their opponents apart once again. They are utterly ruthless. Can he deliver? And out to safety. And there goes the final whistle. Leicester, very much the dominant side, almost the only side. Every time they got on the ball, they looked like scoring. It is a landslide. Your reflections then, Jim?
I enjoyed that, Peter. Both teams went about their work in a really committed manner, and for me, it just always held an interest.
So before we go, many thanks to Jim Beglin for his input, and from us both,